respond to theirs. If you want somebody to come out to meetings when you're having a meeting and you invite people out, then go when they invite you out. Okay? I mean, you treat them the way you would have them treat you. If you don't want people walking in your meeting late, don't walk into their meeting late. Okay? Always think about how do I want to be treated? Because that's the way you treat the people that you're building relationships with. So, do unto others as you have them do unto you. Don't take advantage of a relationship. You start slow. I talked about this a little earlier. Get to know the person before you start asking favors. And find out a way that you can help them. If you meet a stranger in the grocery store, and you say, oh, I saw this picture and so, that's so-and-so, you know, and you happen to be next to them in line. It's a long line in the grocery store. You start up a conversation, and then you start trying to figure out what they like. And then you say, again, you know what, I was just getting ready to go play golf on Saturday. We need another person on our team. Would you like to join us? Don't ask them for anything. Just start this slow building that relationship until you build one in such a way that you can now begin to talk business. Never ask your business friend for unethical favors. And I've seen that way too much. Because when people look at me, for example, they know that I know a ton of executives in the federal space. I know CIOs, COOs, I know Chicos, and on and on. They, and that's a real title, the Chief Human Capital Officer. But when they know that I know these people, then they'll say, can you check on that procurement, find out what the status is? Can you put a word in for me, even though the procurement is in active phase and you're not supposed to talk to them about that? And I tell them, no, I can't talk to them about that. I don't even want you to ask me to talk to them about that. I had a procurement that just ended recently with a great big integrator that I'm working with. And bless his heart, the business development guy with the big integrator says to me, can you call the chief operating officer, who happens to be a very close friend of mine, and find out what the status is of procurement? Are we winning? Is there something else we need to do? So I can't talk to him about that. Gloria, I gotta know. I'm gonna lose my job if I don't win this. And the only thing I can tell him, you might just have to lose your job, because I'm not going to destroy my relationship with my friend just because you are worried after the fact that you didn't do something right in the procurement. Now, they won, but this guy was about to have a nervous breakdown and wanted me to violate my trust with my friend to help him out. I wouldn't do it. So you never ask them to do anything unethical. Now this one is very important. Never give away your relationships. Now this one, I could talk about this forever, but I'm going to just spend a couple of minutes on this. But I've had so many problems with this one. If you are in the business of brokering relationships, not that necessarily that is your business model, but that you happen to find yourself in that situation, that relationship is very important to you. That's your relationship. And then when you start letting somebody else in to take advantage of that relationship, 9 times out of 10, if you don't set the ground rules and establish who owns that relationship, that person that you're trying to help will come around you and take over that relationship. And you'll find yourself left out in the dark somewhere. I had one situation where I took this company in and they couldn't get in the door. So I negotiated with them, and Greg Martin, who's back there, he's my business partner, he's around the corner somewhere. But Greg and I sat down and we worked with this company. They were here from California, and we ended up bringing them in because they couldn't get in, and we sold a big solution with them. They provided all the software, we were providing all the consulting services. Problem, I allowed them to get too close to the customer. So what did they do? Once they went in there and they got close to the customer, they started going in, meeting with the customer behind my back. Next thing I knew, they went in and told the customer they didn't need me. That everything that I was bringing to the table, they could do. And that they should transfer the money that was on my contract over to them. The customer didn't have a clue what was going on, and they transferred the money. Okay? Because I didn't keep them at bay from my customer, and I also didn't help the customer understand what the relationship was. Now, on the other side of that fence, I had a situation here recently with another executive in government, and the person I was bringing in attempted to go around me. I got a phone call right away. Gloria, did you know that so-and-so from such and such company is trying to get on my calendar? And I said, no, I didn't know that. He said, well, am I supposed to talk to him? I said, no. And so he said, okay. He said, well, I promise you he will not be coming in here. So one day I was at the site, and that company, great big company in DC, big company nationally, they called while I was standing there trying to get on his calendar. And he said to his secretary, while I was standing there, he said, they will not get on my calendar unless it comes to Gloria. Okay? So guess what the company did? Hi, Gloria.
Yeah.
We'd like to sit down and talk to you about putting another contract in place. But then once they understood they can't go around me and my clients won't let them, then they were like, okay, well, let's back off, and because they're going to try to cut me out. So you got to make sure that you are protecting those relationships. And how do you protect them? You make sure you have the right relationship with the client, and you make sure your paperwork is in order. All right? Nurture your relationships, have your gatherings, send out announcements, invitations, press, information to them that's helpful to them. If you know what they're interested in, and you see something coming across the airwaves, and you know that they would enjoy that, send it to them. Let them know you're thinking about them. Look, I thought you might be interested in this. You know, I know you said that you needed to understand such and such better. Here is a seminar that's going to be held. And it may not have anything to do with you, but you're looking out for their interest and what they are interested in trying to get done. Get them, I talked about this earlier, get them tickets to events that you know they might like. Invite them to the galas. Go to the lunches and the dinners when you don't feel like it. Poor me. Go to the lunches and the dinners when you know you're gaining too much weight. And you just gotta eat some more stuff, but you just go. But know when to say no to people.
Yes. Because
some people will hound you to death, want you to have lunch with them. Come have dinner with me. Come have lunch with me. You're like, this person is just, nothing's gonna come of this. And I'm sick and tired of wasting my time going to lunch and dinner with them, because I know nothing's gonna happen with this. So don't let people just keep you going and you know nothing's gonna happen. All they're doing is trying to use you and waiting on a chance for something to hit that they can get and take advantage of. They're not really looking to try to work with you. Now, I'm gonna switch real quick and then I'm gonna sum it up afterwards. But let's go to employee relationships, because those are very, very, very important to business. You can't be successful if your employees don't want you to be. Anybody understand that? If your employees do not want you to be successful, you will not be successful. And I'm going to give you an example of something that happened to me where my employees in one setting did not want me to be successful. I had just arrived at the Department of Education, black female, and unfortunately, it was the black females that worked for me who decided they did not want me to get ahead. I didn't have that many of them, but I had a group of them. And so I was trying to get the organization approved, and because I had to build this organization from scratch, because as Dawn said, I was the first chief information officer at that organization, so I had to put an organization in place. And every time I thought I had it done, something else would come up. And then I'd go deal with that. And then I'd submit again, something else would come up, and I'd deal with that. This went on for a year. Finally, my secretary came to me, who was a black female, and she said, look, I'm so sorry, but I really have to tell you what's going on. Have you wondered why you can't get this organization approved? And I said, yeah, because I've done everything. She said, well, there's a meeting that takes place every week. It's all your black females. And they sit there and try to figure out how they can stop the next thing that you're going to do. Wow. And I said, are you serious? She said, yeah, they just don't want you to be successful. I said, okay. I said, well, I'll tell you what, you go back and you tell them that I report to the cabinet secretary. They're trying to get rid of the Department of Education. The first organizations that are going to go get cut are the ones that don't belong to the Department of Education. Right now, the CIO organization does not belong to the department. I'm trying to fix that. So the first people that will go as they try to disband the Department of Education will be them. I will still be here. So you go back and you tell them that. My organization got approved a week later. Okay? And I thought to myself, I don't even know these people. But they had decided that they were going to make sure I wasn't successful. You all don't even have to listen to my story. You see what's happening to President Obama every day.
For real.
They are determined he's not going to be successful. Now, that's not because of treating employees badly. That's just some other stuff, right?